Okay, so getting to the overall energy, okay? I hope you guys don't hear my bed squeaking. I'm on the bed doing this, y'all, but the overall energy, we got the fives, the five, 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 five. Okay. We got the five of wands and the five of cups over here. The five of wands and the five of cups as the overall energy. And the five of wands, you could be messing with somebody. The five of wands, we could be dealing with somebody who has their Saturn in Leo, okay? And somebody who has their Saturn in Leo, this is someone who likes to play too much, okay? Somebody who has childlike qualities, okay? But it's not like they're devious, but they kind of play too much. And I am picking up two energies. So I'm gonna talk about the two different ones. I'm picking up an energy of somebody who likes to play too much, okay? This may be a person who is always kidding, playing around, okay? But in actuality, they be hurting people's feelings. It may be somebody who punches you or pushes you and they be playing too much. Have you ever ran into somebody who like touches you, or pushes you or does some weird stuff? And to them, it's nothing, like they're not doing it to be mischievous, but that shit hurt. Or they be pushing too hard. You got to kind of take a few steps back and make you feel like punching them back. Okay. But you just be like, okay, okay. You kind of know where they're coming from. That's the kind of feeling I'm getting over here with this five of wands with this person. Okay. So that's the first energy I was picking up. Do you know that Chris Rock and Will Smith? Yeah, yeah. That energy seeped right over here. Okay, that energy. You don't understand how much of an influence that they have. Okay, so by Will Smith doing that, it might trigger a lot of other people to do the same thing. The world is watching. Okay, and that's why people get upset. Okay, at how these stars are reacting, because your energy triggers a lot of other energies, especially when people look up to you and respect you. Okay, plain as that. Plain and simple as that. This ain't no celebrity reading, but if it came through, I'm going to touch up on it. Okay. So that's the first energy that I'm picking up. Somebody that we're dealing with. Okay, we're dealing with this situation. Another thing I wanted to add was you never know what's going on in the background. Okay, you never know. So when Chris Rock made a whole TV show called Everybody Hate Chris, and you know how we are. You don't think they're the same way? Why would you name your show that? Okay, knowing that you a comedian, I'm gonna leave it alone. Okay, I'm gonna leave it alone. But that was the first energy. The second energy I was feeling was the energy of discord. Okay, discord, conflict. Okay, due to diversity. Okay, due to we different. We just different. Okay, we just so different. And it's just that we're so different, it clashes. When you're dealing with a lot of different people with diverse ways of understanding things and doing things, you gotta come with a lot of understanding too. Without understanding, it's just gonna be a clash. It's like my way or the hot. My way is the best, not your way. No, my way is the best. With understanding, we can get somewhere, but without some understanding, it's hard to get anywhere. Okay. So I feel like this usually comes because of a lot of when you have a lot of diversity, and I talk about diversity because of all the different clothes that they're wearing, the different styles. One person got a hat on, okay. One person got polka dot on, okay. One person think he fly, you know. So they're just very diverse, and I feel like that's what's leading to the conflict. Like we all got different passions. I mean, we're all kind of holding the same stick, but our sticks are different. We're swinging them differently, and that's what the problem is. We're holding the same stick and we're swinging them differently. Okay, now let's talk a little bit more about the diversity and the discord happening with the diversity. Okay, first, I just want to say, take a look at what kind of ground. I always say, look at what they're standing on. They're standing on withering ground. Okay, I don't see no green. I see it drying up. So all this discord really ain't leading to anything fruitful. Sometimes there is competition. little difference that pushes us towards greatness and pushes us to do more and pushes us to really breed something nice. But over here, I feel like, we just drying up the land. We ain't doing nothing much, okay? We ain't really tending to the land like we should be, okay? We standing on some dry land, all right? We standing on some dry land. Um, Another thing I wanted to talk about too was the environment. The environment is all blue. Okay, that's your surroundings being all blue. I feel like there may be onlookers, okay, or the people that this whole conflict over here may be affecting are trying to throw on calmness. Blue being calmness, blue being the color of trying to calm things down. Your environment might be adjusting to try to calm things down because of this conflict, so it's like it's affected the environment and they are adjusting to offset and to balance this conflict going on. Okay. All right. Let's talk a little bit more about these motherfuckers fighting over here. Okay. Another thing I see is the people swinging the hardest, which is the one in the red, the one in the yellow. They got mismatched shoes on. Y'all ain't even prepared. Y'all out here ain't even prepared. It's like somebody's so ready to jump up and go fight. I ain't even put my right shoes on. I done mismatched my shoes. I'm just ready to go and get it. Okay? I'm just ready to go out there and go get it. The ones fighting the hardest, that's the one in the red and the one in the yellow. Okay? Now, take a look at the one in the blue. This is so funny. Because the one in the blue in the back, look at the way he's holding on to his stick. I don't know if he's getting ready to swing. He ain't really even have it up in the air yet. He don't even look like he aware. The one in the green just looked like he more so trying to protect himself from getting hit, or he can see that other one coming to hit him. But the one in the blue, I don't know what he doing. You about to get hit right in the face. I don't know what you're doing. I don't know if you had your eyes closed, you weren't prepared for, I don't know. This is a lot of mess. Let me just say that. A lot of mess, a lot of balls swinging, a lot of egos flying. Okay, so whatever conflict we got over here, that's what I'm picking up, all right? And it's just because we are different and we don't have understanding. We don't have understanding. Oh, gosh. For lack of understanding, my people perish. I believe that's what it says, right? I need to go back and read. But that's what I'm picking up from that. And then we couple that up with the Five of Cups. Now, we're talking about fives over here. Fives is all about conflict, okay? It's all about the structure and conflict. And five is definitely tied in with the Hierophant, okay? And it was funny because when I first put out them two cards, I was like, where's the Hierophant in this? Where is the Hierophant? And the Hierophant did pop up, and we're going to get to the Hierophant in a minute, okay? In the advice section, the Hierophant did pop up, which makes me say, this is real, it shows me that this is all connected to the way things are, the way things are established, okay? Like the way we run things, okay? The status quo, the way things are. But we're going to leave it right there. We're going to get over there in a minute. So we have the Five of Cups over here, okay? Partnered with the Five of Wands. And the Five of Cups over here is, we're talking about dealing with somebody with their Mars in Scorpio. And somebody with their Mars in Scorpio, when they angry, okay? Because when we're talking about your Mars, we're talking about how you deal with your aggression, okay? How you deal with conflict, all right? How you also deal with your passion, how you deal with sex. And this motherfucker, you get them angry, they mean war. They're ready for war, okay? If conflict arises, this person, they mean war. All right? And what I'm getting from this, with this Five of Cups over here too, is, do you know how Will Smith jumped up? I don't even know his chart. Maybe I need to go look at his chart. But do you know how Will Smith jumped up, went out, fought, and then afterwards he had tears coming down? Like, I didn't even think about this. Oh my goodness, look at what I done afterwards. Those were legit tears. I mean, people don't know about people who smile all the time. I'm always one of those people who smile all the time. right? So sometimes it's hard for you to take somebody seriously like that when they're angry. So he did what he did and afterwards had tears coming down his eyes. I need to check his chart, okay? But that's the situation I got over here. We got somebody grieving over the aftermath of this conflict, of this petty ass conflict, of these differences, okay, of this evil swinging ball swinging thing. We got somebody crying about the aftermath. All right. I am not doing a celebrity reading. I swear I'm not. But I just feel like that energy lingers on, okay? And a lot of times I tell people all the time, watch the stars. You're going to see them playing out your life. Okay. When that energy is around and strong, a lot of times it trickles down to people, especially when we're watching it. Just by watching it, you're going to go to work. You're going to go to your situation, whatever you're doing. You're going to go to the neighborhood. You're going to go to the barbershop and conflict's going to come. You're going to jump up and slap somebody just because you saw it coming. That's why we're real particular about what people put on TV. These energies influence us. Sometimes it's transferring that kind of energy, okay? So I'm going to just talk about it. We're looking at the aftermath, okay? We have 5 people over here in conflict, 3 done fell, and we still got 2 behind us standing, but it's like, did they need to? Did they need to? Did this need to happen, okay? Did we need to take this loss, all right? We went through war, but look at the aftermath now. Now we're going to be crying about the aftermath. And that's what we're looking at over here. That's what we're dealing with this Thursday, okay? So some of y'all are being influenced by this situation. Maybe you guys are discussing this somewhere, or some of you guys are being influenced by what you saw with Will Smith, okay? And you're taking that energy to wherever you're going. Be careful, okay? So you don't get in this situation, all right? Today. Be careful so you don't get in this situation today, okay? Because you're going to be crying about the aftermath. We're all going to looking at the aftermath, okay? And saying, did this need to happen, okay? Did this need to happen, all right? Did this need to happen? And that's definitely what I'm picking up, you guys. So we're going to move on and we're going to go into, the energies, the positive energies for the day, okay? Okay, so now let's talk about the 2 positive cards, okay? The positive cards of the day. I have the Sun coupled with the 8 of Swords. And I must say, the Sun is an interesting card coming out for the positive. With the Sun is definitely all about positivity, things coming out. But the truth is that the Sun is like showing clarity. Okay, I feel like at nighttime, with the moon, we have a lot of illusions. But this Sun over here is like, I'm showing the naked truth because I'm really looking at the nakedness of the child. Okay. So I'm showing the naked truth. Okay. This is the white. This is the nitty gritty. Okay. I'm shining a light on the truth. Here comes the Sun. Like, I'm going to shine the light. And when we shine the light, what we saw was somebody with the 8 of Swords. And the 8 of Swords is all about imprisonment. It's all about restriction. Okay. When the Sun came out, we saw how restrictive this situation was. Okay. Somebody might be fighting. I feel like some of this conflict might be because somebody felt very restricted. Okay. I was talking about the status quo a lot because, of the 5s, okay? Like, this is our established way of being with the 5s, with the Hierophant over there. And it's like it's imprisoning people or one person, okay? Because I see a person imprisoned over here. And it's like the light is shining on that. While these people are over here fighting, there's another person who's imprisoned. And we're shining a light on the imprisoned person, all right? I got an imprisoned woman over here, a restricted woman. A lot of times they talk about the 8 of Swords being self-imposed, okay? Because they're saying, well, nobody's holding her down. She can move. But what I'm wondering is that, here's what I'm wondering, like, can she even wield a sword? Or are these swords belonging to one person? We don't know what came before this. We don't know what came before this, okay? But we're shining a light on imprisonment, okay? It could be a lot of people fighting, a lot of people swinging egos, okay? And it's coming to nothing. At the end of the day, all we did was imprison somebody, okay? All your fighting led nowhere but to someone, one of you guys, or everybody feeling imprisoned, okay? We're imprisoned by our understanding with the swords over here being air energy. We're imprisoned by our words, okay? We're over here throwing a lot of words over here, and we're imprisoning ourselves with our mentality, our words, our understandings, okay? This could also be with the Eight of Swords. We're talking about somebody who has their Jupiter in Gemini. Eight of Swords is linked to Jupiter in Gemini. And Jupiter in Gemini is actually a person. When you have your Jupiter in Gemini, you have the gift of gab, okay? This is a person with the gift of gab, Jupiter in Gemini, gift of gab, okay? We have a gift of gab, and at the same time, we prosper with our communication, okay? We prosper with our communication. But here we are feeling very restricted with it, okay? We prosper with our communication and our socialization. But here we are tied down. And here's another thing. Jupiter in Gemini is very open-minded, okay? They're very open-minded. They're social people. They're very open-minded. But here we are being very closed-minded, okay? And I feel like there's a light being shed on the fact that when we are closed-minded and we stick to our own ways, all we do is fight. When we're not being open-minded, okay, when we're not accepting of others, what we're doing is imprisoning people, okay? What we're doing is actually imprisoning people, all right? And we're imprisoning them with our words, okay? And it's funny, yes, nobody's holding her down, but you know how sometimes the status quo, the way things are, okay? The way things are is actually holding you down. I mean, just imagine that the way things are, and I'm going to bring it back to Will Smith, the way things are, because we're celebrities, I'm not allowed to defend my wife's honor. Because we're celebrities, I have to let you pick on my wife in her illness. I can't defend that, okay? I'm not able to defend that. And we're shedding a light on this situation. I'm not trying to make it a celebrity reading, but I'm trying to get you to grasp the situation. You know what I mean? This really hurts my wife. I know they were talking about He Laughed Too or blah, 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 or AB. I'm not talking about all that. I'm just talking about the situation where this hurts her feelings. I mean, for a lot of us African Americans, we grew up and you can't talk about my mama, okay? Knowing damn well some of our mamas were on drugs, knowing damn well some of our mamas were wrong as hell. That wasn't the point. Don't talk about my mama, all right? Don't talk about my mama because it hurts for you to talk about my mama, all right? We grew up in that kind of generation, and we're shedding a light on the fact how restrictive, and that's how I'm going to explain it. I'm going to use what happened to explain the situation. He can't defend his wife. This hurts his wife, but he's not allowed. He's wrong for defending his wife because he's a celebrity. You ain't allowed to get hurt. All right? So that's what I'm getting. That, we see clarity. We're seeing all this, okay? We're seeing the nitty gritty. We're seeing the restrictions. We're seeing the truth for what it is. We're seeing the truth for what it is. And a lot of people are like, oh, if Chris Rock handled it very well, he didn't hit back. And we're seeing the restriction for what it is. And he's been well behaved. People said he handled it well. But seriously, you didn't defend Joe. You know what I mean? Seriously, on the streets, it's like you just got punked. But we're actually shedding a light. And this is the type of situation we're dealing with on Thursday. I'm going to use that situation to really, help you understand what I'm talking about, okay? All right, so we're shedding a light on the restriction. And that is a positive thing. So on Thursday, okay, you're going to be able to shed a light, or the conflict The aftermath of whatever conflict happens is going to be able to shed a light on the restrictions, okay, that you have. And that is the positive aspect for this Thursday. I hope I was able to explain it well, okay? So let's talk about the negative cards for today. I got the Page of Swords and I got the 8 again. So we got 8s again, okay? I got the Page of Swords and the 8 of Pentacles. With the Page of Swords, the Page of Swords is very intelligent, but I always talk about people who just have like who have book knowledge, but they're not necessarily wise with the information that they have. Have you ever ran into somebody who just has a lot of information and they just start spitting it out and spitting it out? I think the whole world goes through that phase, And without wisdom, you make little mistakes. It was like when we didn't want, the police were putting parents in jail and taking kids away because parents were beating them. You know what I mean? And, parents were getting bashed for beating their children. And now I see commercials with parents telling their children, the police bringing the children back and handing the parents the belt indicating beat that motherfucker, okay? But we had to go through I always say we had to go through a whole generation of children who were not disciplined in order to figure that out. So that's the energy that I'm picking up with the Page of Swords, where it's like that young knowledge that is in balance or grounded with wisdom, okay, and understanding of things. So and she is looking right over, the way I have these cards positioned, she is looking right over at the 8 of Swords. And she's ready, while everybody done threw their sword over there, she's ready to toss hers and add it without understanding all up in the motherfucking Kool-Aid, okay? Don't even know what the flavor is, all right? Be careful with what you're doing, okay? So you might see this happening, okay? And you need to be careful. You need to be very careful. I think there might be other people. I don't know where you're positioned on this, okay? Because there are a lot of people here today. If you're the one who ends up feeling restricted and the light is being shined on your restriction, be careful because there might be other people who feel like they're going to take advantage of that and they're going to put more of a restriction on you, okay? Just be very careful because of that. And if it's the other way around, where like you're an onlooker and you see this happening, or you notice that maybe somebody you were fighting with, you see that they've been restricted by a situation, and you're like, I'm gonna throw mine in too. So be careful not to add to the pain, okay? Be careful not to add to the way things are. And over here with the 8 of Pentacles, this is Sun in Virgo. It's associated with somebody whose sun is in Virgo, okay? You know how Virgos be working so hard. Them Beyonce workers. We gon' do this until we get this motherfucking right. Every fucking motherfucking piece is gonna be right, okay? That repetitive action and working hard to perfect something, okay? So 8 of Pentacles is associated with that Sun in Virgo. Like either somebody's working really hard to keep you here, to keep you restricted, because it's like, I figured out the game, okay? I figured out the game, and I'm gonna use the game to restrict you even more. Or you figured out the game. That's a negative energy, okay? Sometimes, they say don't hate the player, hate the game, okay? And this is how the game is designed, okay? And if that game is restricting you, okay? If that game is putting women underneath, hey, it is what it is. I'm going to take full advantage of it. Hey, we don't teach men any better, that kind of attitude. Or you know what? This is how the game is. Let's just say you're going in the music industry, and in this music industry, this is what we do. You know what I mean? And you done figured out, this is how the status quo is. Okay, so it's restricting people. So here you go. Like, I'm going to restrict you too. Or let's talk about church. All right. We all go to church. Okay. And I know that, the understanding of the church is restricting you. So look, I'm going to use that I'm going to use that All right. Whether it's happening to you or doing it to somebody else, it looks like that I'm going to make it my business and I'm going to work real hard on becoming one of this because that's the status quo. Okay. I don't think you want to work on the status quo. All right. Don't work on the status quo. Like, don't feed into this shit. Okay. Don't feed into it, period. That's it. That's all. Don't feed into it. Have a wonderful day. That's the negative energy. All right. And for the advice card, I got the Three of Swords and I got the Hierophant. Okay. The Three of Swords. And I also have the Hierophant. With the Three of Swords being the advice card, girl, boy, whoever you are, here's the thing. Don't add insult to injury. That's what I want to say. Do not add insult to injury. All right. Today, I feel like there's a need to talk about adding insult to injury with the heartbreaker, the Three of Swords right there. Okay. And the reason why I am saying don't add insult to injury, because I feel like this conflict really had is really going to get somebody feeling very restricted. Okay. And don't take advantage of, a bad situation. I feel like it's a loss all the way around. It's a loss all the way around. Okay. It's a loss all the way around, and you do not want to add to the loss. You don't want to add to the griminess of the situation, especially with that card over there. I feel like with the Hierophant too, is like the way things are has really restricted people. Okay, the way things are established or the way the law is, this conflict leads to nothing, and like the law doesn't help anybody. It just restricts people. Okay. I feel like it puts people in a very hard situation, and you don't want to be the one to add insult to injury. Okay. I feel like you got to be really sensitive here. There's a need to be sensitive. All right. There's a need to be sensitive to the situation this Thursday. And I'm just going to beg you guys, whoever you are, to really be sensitive towards whatever conflict. Here goes my cat crying again. My cat stopped. This cat, it's not my cat, but this cat's been crying and crying. And then it finally stopped crying. I don't know if you guys can hear it or not, but it's back crying again. Usually it starts crying like around 12 at night or something. Okay. It's not 12 o'clock yet. 12 o'clock means night. It didn't came back early. Probably because it missed yesterday. It's going to catch up. It's going to catch up. Okay. It stopped crying yesterday. I had to look up why cats make, different noises and stuff. And it was talking about it just might really be lonely or understimulated at nighttime. And that's why it's doing that. All right. So with that said, just be really careful. Don't add insult to injury. That's all I really wanted to say. Because I feel like what goes around is definitely going to come around, because that's the way, with the Hierophant over here, that's the way the establishment is. The people that I saw, another person is a Taurus, might be involved in this, okay? But I get more of, this is the status quo, this is the establishment, this is just the rules, this is the way it is, okay? This is the law of the land, and the law of the land hurts, okay? You don't want to be on the other side of that. So I suggest you don't stop, don't swing your sword without understanding without fully grasping the situation, okay? Because one day you might be on the other side of that. All right. So Thursday, I see a lot of conflict. This conflict does help people to see the light of the situation that's going on. If there was, have you ever experienced a situation where if we didn't fight, or if this conflict didn't come to light, nobody would have known that this was going on. Nobody would have known that something was wrong unless somebody said something. Until somebody got angry, nobody knew what was going on. And I think this is what, this is what people are figuring out. Like, until somebody said something, we would have never known. And that's the situation today. somebody finally, it finally, if shit didn't get messy, okay, if shit didn't get messy and people's feelings didn't get hurt, then it would have kept going on. Have you ever seen people who play and they catfight and you like, oh, that's just how they joke? But they be full blown serious, okay? And if it didn't get messy, we wouldn't have known that, this is what's going on, okay? So the good thing is that now everybody knows it's out in the open, which is good. Don't add insult to injury, or be careful for people trying to add insult to injury, okay, or trying to take advantage. There's always going to be those people who are going to hype shit up, okay, when shit goes down. There are always going to be the instigators. Watch out for the instigators. Watch out for all that stuff. And you guys have a wonderful day, okay? I've been talking a lot. My mouth is getting dry. I'm going to give me something to drink. Yeah, have a wonderful day.